Hello my friends all over the world, wherever you are. William Poloniak here again from Whole Health Foundation. And I have here some green tomatoes that fell off the vine. And if you've ever wondered what to do with green tomatoes, one thing you can do is juice them, because there's plenty of nutrition in green tomatoes. I'm sure you've heard of fried green tomatoes. Well, here we're going to make juiced green tomatoes, along with a number of other ingredients. Let's look at those ingredients now. In addition to green tomatoes, I have here 2, 4, 6, 7 green tomatoes. I have 4 ripe tomatoes, 1 beet, medium-sized, carrots of course, ginger, garlic, and turmeric, some French sorrel, 2 romaine lettuce plants, 2 red curly leaf plants, some collard greens, and 1 green bell pepper. Now before we start making juice, I want to point out that I'm using the front-loading feed tube. This feed tube is an exclusive product of Whole Health Foundation. You will never get blowback up to your ceiling. And I have the near zero blowback cutter that has over 80 teeth cut into the 5 cutter blades. So let's install the cutter. Now before I start processing my produce, I'm going to put 3 or 4 ice cubes through to cool down the cutter and the feed tube, because we're already over 20. You can go as high as 35 or even 40 degrees centigrade, but I like to keep mine below 20. More collard greens. And after every 3rd time I put greens through, I'm going to clean the grid. Frequently. Well, it's time to clean the grid, so let's take it out. Whenever your juicer is becoming difficult to work, clean your grid. More green tomatoes. Again, I have to cut them in half because they're so large. Romaine lettuce, and I can put the whole lettuce through. Now here's the last of my French sorrel and the last of my greens. And what I'm going to do now is feed in a couple of carrots and then clean the grid and switch to the number 2 grid, which is better for carrots. Your juicer gets jammed like that, jump start it with a switch. And we're over 20 again, so I'm going to put in 2 more ice cubes. And I'm going to clean the grid, and remember, clean your grid often, especially when you do greens. So now, as you can notice, my bowl is very, very full and overflowing, and I still have some carrots to do. So what I'm going to do is put a few small containers full of pulp into this larger bowl here. And I should be able to get 3 or 4 scoops in there. And that'll make enough room to do the rest of the carrots. There we go. Now we'll continue with the carrots. Now here's the last of my carrots, and what we'll do next is clean the grid and mix the produce. So the next step is to clean the feed tube, mix the produce, and start making juice. So remove the feed tube. First remove the thermometer, then remove the feed tube, clean it, and get all the pulp off the cutter if there's any there. Now all juicers from Whole Health Foundation come with this cleaning brush. But if you don't have one, you can buy one at most grocery stores. But don't get the small one for bottles, get the large one. And before we assemble, let's clean that with either with a damp cloth or with the spray nozzle, just as I did there. Whenever greens are mixed with carrots, you do not need a bamboo liner. If you're doing only green juice or only fruit juice, you definitely need a bamboo liner. So we'll rotate this in both directions so we get a very, very good mix. Next, I'll take my 6 cloths out of the freezer and crack the ice on the edge of the counter. Makes it easier to take them apart. And then we're going to show you the 6 cloth less work method. Now, here's the last of my 6 cloths unfolded out of the freezer, and what I'm going to do next is show you my 6 cloth less work method. So the cloths go in this tray, it overhangs the counter a little bit, some room up here for the filled cloths, and I'll put 3 scoops into each cloth. And later I'll put only 2 scoops because we do not throw away the pulp until the very, very end. So in thirds, just like the came package, as tight a package as you can make. The 2 filled cloths go in the center, centered left to right. That's very, very important. Centered front to back, all the way back. Back it off a little bit. And we'll continue until we have all cloths filled. Watch my 6 cloth less work method. These 2 cloths go forward, these 2 go over, the spent cloths go on top, and we continue in this rhythm until we're done. But now, first of all, centered left to right, centered front to back, all the way back, back it up. Now, instead of putting 3 scoops, we do not throw away this pulp. We'll put 2 scoops on top. Fold it into thirds again. And when you're on your last cloth, advance that all the way. And remember, 2 scoops, not 3. Now, one thing I'm noticing is my bowl will accommodate the rest of the pulp. So we'll pour that in and mix it. Forward, that goes over, the spent cloths go on top, and I notice my bowl is full, so the next thing we'll do is fill bottles. Okay, I'm filling these bottles up to the rim here to leave about 10% water because the juice is very, very concentrated and I like to dilute it just a little bit. Now my friends, as you can see, I have repackaged the already pressed pulp into 3 double packets, and I'm going to put these in the press, press them again, and see how much more juice we can get. They're going to be using a measuring beaker. Now all the way back, I'm going to back that off a little bit, but first let's center this. It's very important to have them centered. Back it off a little bit, turn on the press. Now we're on the second packaging of the spent pulp, and we've already got 18 ounces, almost 19, and still have 2 sets of cloths to press. So we have droplets, and I want to point out that one reason you can leave this up so long is we have the premium bottom base plate that comes with Whole Health Foundation models, and that premium bottom base plate has a lifetime warranty. So let's dump this into the collection bowl.